Now it's winter time and the weather outside might be frightful, but inside we're drawing snowy evergreen trees. Delightful. Let's get to it. This is a really fun and simple tutorial today. I'm going to start off with just shading in a base layer for our sky. I'm just using a 2B pencil here. You can see I have a really steep angle on it so I can get a really nice soft application of the graphite. Now if you want to sharpen your pencil like this so you can get that really nice long piece of graphite sticking out there, just take an X-Acto blade and gently trim off some of your pencil, and you just go all the way around like that, and then you just lightly shave off your lead until it's where you want it to be. And that way you can get a really nice soft application on the paper. Now I'm just going to even it out a bit with our blending tool. So that's blended and smooth enough for our tutorial today. In some of these little darker spots, I'm going to put trees there so I'm not too concerned about it. So I marked where I want my tree to be centered. And what I'm going to do next is take an eraser. Now I have this little pencil eraser that works really well. But you could just take a regular eraser and break off a little piece of it. And the only thing is you'll want to use like an angled piece where you can get some pretty small eraser marks. But I like to use this pencil eraser. It works really well. So to start off, I'll sharpen it on a piece of sandpaper here, just to get that tip a little extra sharp. And then you just erase in your snowy tree and branches. And what's fun is you can be super loose with this, and you really can't make a mistake. If your eraser isn't as sharp as you want it to be, just sharpen it again on your sandpaper. I like to use a paintbrush to dust the eraser pieces off, and then just keep going. Now, as the branches get longer down here, they're holding up more snow, so they have more tendency to droop. So as you move down, you might want your snowy branches to get more vertical, but you can have it play however you want, really. And just like with regular trees, be random. Random is good. The good thing is you can't really make a mistake. I can see I've erased too much on this side probably, but we're going to fix that when we fill in our branches. So now I'm going to take a 2B mechanical pencil and just work in all my little branch and tree trunk areas. Now the really key thing here is your marks with your 2B pencil should be underneath eraser marks because, of course, those are branches holding up the snow. But again, you just want to be really random with it. At the top, obviously, there's going to be fewer marks because the tree is a lot thinner. Might be a little bit more of the tree trunk up here, but just make sure you stay underneath your eraser marks like a branch would be. And don't always just go left to right. Remember, there are some snowy branches that are going to be facing directly to us here, so having some just kind of sit in the middle is okay. You want to be really random with it, like with all nature and landscape drawings. Random is good. Also, where there is some of our sky poking through, don't feel like you need to fill all that in. Some trees have holes like that. Another good thing here is if there's a section where you don't necessarily like what you did with the branches, you could just use an eraser to erase some of your branches. Think of it as just adding back in some snow. So you really can't mess up. As we get down the tree here, I'm going to go more vertical because again these branches are longer and have more snow on them, which is making it sag. So I can see my branches on the left side come up more here, so I'm going to curl these out a little bit more just to kind of make it that classic Christmas tree shape. Sweep it off. Make sure to vary up the pressure with your pencil for different lightness and darkness in your shadows. And really just play around and have fun with it here. So down at the bottom here, we're going to have this where our snowy foreground comes in. I'm just going to erase that to have our nice snowy hill or whatever this is. Then these branches are kind of laying on top of the snow here, so these are again traveling more left to right rather than these more vertical hanging ones up here. And this is just a 2B pencil here. I'm just going to shade in where the snow and this tree connect on the ground. Put a little hint of a trunk in here. And now with that in place, I can start adding a few more little snowy branches down in here just to make that come to life a little bit more. It's going to be a little bit darker down here. So I'm going to go back here and finesse some things, but you can see that's how fast things can come together when drawing a snowy evergreen tree when you set it up with a sky as a base layer. I'm going to draw a couple more of these snowy evergreen trees here. This time I'm going to use my electric eraser. So you can see this tree is a little bit more sparse, but it's just the same idea. What's fun is not only can you kind of do whatever you want with the snow, you can keep that same mentality with the branches and just have them pop out basically however you want. So you can be really loose and free with everything. At the bottom here, again the branches are longer, the snow is piling up more. I'm going to add a few more little shadowy areas down at the bottom of this one. My idea here is that all these branches are so long and holding so much snow that they're really just sort of drooping on the ground. Just going to connect this to our snowy foreground a little bit. You can just make these trees as expressive as you want. I'm just going to drop in a few quick and easy clouds to finish this drawing off. But if you want to see a full in-depth cloud drawing tutorial, I'll link it in the description for you. But that's really about it. The fun thing in this method is you really can't screw up. You can make your trees as expressive as you want to and really just play around. Thanks for watching.